project that has taken this direction. So I'll just say a couple things. One, when I started working with Tim May, I found him to be absolutely exceptional to work with. And I view myself to be a pretty good judge of character. He was always very responsive and thorough regarding information and timely in terms of things that we needed and to keep things moving. The last meeting that Tim was here, I actually knew that he was sick. And everybody thought he had the flu. He was very shaky, and that's what he shared. He shared that he had been going to the doctor and that they thought it was flu, and it just continued to progress and get worse. There was a period of time in October where I reached out to him and I said, hey, I need some information from you. No response. Called, no response. Emailed, no response, which was highly unusual. And so I started reaching out to others in the network, business person in California, and I reached out to him and he said, yep, highly unusual. We're worried. And so they sent the police to his home and they found him unresponsive. And he had been unresponsive for what they think was several days. And as a result of that, he was hospitalized. They couldn't quite figure out what the bacteria was, and they were trying a bunch of concoctions to try to get things out of control. At that point, his daughter, Lauren Price, reached out to us as a team and advised that she had been appointed power of attorney and that her direction was to keep things moving, and that the family knew how hard and how much it had been to progress to the purchase of the Franklin site. And so based on that discussion, and it wasn't just me, it was our entire project team, so John Stork and the Addison Young guys and Chris and others, we were talking every 2 weeks, and the direction was we're going to keep things moving forward, and that's what we did. Up until the point where it became clear that Tim was not making a recovery in the manner that everybody had hoped. And so absent of that recovery, at this point, the project's just not positioned to move forward, at least from our perspective. But, again, professional in the industry for a long time, not just myself, but Sean McHale and Steve Schaub with Addison Young, John Stork with ICC. I feel like we all did our homework. I reviewed financial statements, I reviewed business plans, and unfortunately, this is just beyond everybody's control. I guess the only other thing that I would say is that in this process, I had the opportunity to work with a wonderful community. The community did everything right in terms of moving this project forward. And I certainly hope, if the community is receptive, I certainly hope to be back in the community and to bring other projects forward, because again, it was an excellent experience.
I would just say, as Chris came from Ardlock Construction, from our perspective too, I thought the process working with Tim as things started out was really great. And everything the city did to come to the table to make the project potentially happen was really, all the good work that Chris did, the mayor did, and everybody that was at the table through that process. It is really unfortunate that we're in the situation that we are now, where the project is not going forward. In advance of this meeting, Rob had asked me to at least come with some ideas on how things could progress with the Shell building. So what I have done is just outlined a real brief schedule to him if we were to finish out the contract as we had originally proposed. We could order materials and begin siding the building and finishing things out. It would take about a month for the siding to arrive, and we could progress in that process. I would say that by June, or in June, we would be able to complete the building for the original contract we'll have discussed. The other thing I think to keep in mind too is that we're still actively marketing the building, and there are still active leads right now that we're talking to about the building. So, as unfortunate as it is that this project is not, there's still a great opportunity with this building, and I feel it's a pretty good value for what we're seeing out there in the market as well. So we'd be happy to answer any questions.
And just to kind of fill in a little bit as far as the background, so there's still money set aside from this budget, original cost estimate that has not been spent, that is there to finish out the construction of the project. It's available, it's actually listed, item O, resolution 2019-18, $511,000 that has not been spent on this project. The only, things that were out as far as with this amazing food and beverage deal is we approved the tax abatements, we've done, all the work as far as purchase agreements, those kinds of things, but there hasn't been any money change hands as far as any of that project is concerned. And so other than a delay in the project, because they had expressed interest in expanding the building, we had halted construction in order to allow for that expansion and not put siding on the side that we didn't need. And so we still have that budget, and Rondamon, it sounds like you're willing to honor that original contract amount, and we can move forward. I know that the mayor and I have both been in touch with both Chris and Dana, and Dana has reached out to all of those parties that have expressed interest in the building, and we think we have some really good potential leads there. But I do think that it would be best to proceed with finishing the construction of the shell building and getting it completed and ready for sale.
We'll be coming back to that in just a little bit on that, so, okay. Leslie, thanks for your efforts. Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Chris, with the potential leads and other customers, is it prudent to complete the building as it was originally designed? And so we could have it complete by June? Or are the prospects of the opinion of redesigning or expanding the project?
I think there's the potential that, a prospect may want to redesign the building, and we still have that opportunity for a short window as we're talking to some people that have had some interest. From a marketability perspective, I think having a completed building is important because it does shorten someone's time to occupancy in that building or being able to start producing. So I do think it makes sense to proceed, but I think proceed somewhat cautiously and keep in mind that if, right now we have an opportunity to put it out there to a lot of folks, and if they want to see some changes in the building, we can offer that for a short period of time before we are hard on ordering our materials and that type of thing.
This was always the original plan, was to build it to its state as a shell. There's still not going to be any flooring or, everything's just roughed in. It's still very flexible as far as build out is concerned.
Yeah,
We'll go back to our original plan.
Just back to the original plan.
The key thing that would be different than what you see now is really siding on the building. We'd be doing quite a bit of landscape work, drainage work, that type of thing to finish out the contract. But the major difference that you would see would be siding on the building at this point.
Is this something we can have a motion to move forward today? Okay. I would make a motion to proceed with the shell building build out as originally designed and presented.
Could
Yeah. Help me.
yeah, so could we, let's act on the amazing foods part first, okay?
Well, that's over.
Well, I think we need to take some action.
Oh, okay.
So I think that we need to probably have a vote that shows up in the minutes that says that you are voting. BJ, I'd be more than happy to hear your thoughts on this, but I think we ought to take some action that says that from our standpoint, the agreement is terminated.
I agree with that, and I put the question to Leslie, do we have something in writing from Amazing Foods indicating they are not moving forward?
provide that to you.
I think it would be prudent to get that.
Yeah, and you're right, short of that, I was gonna say that I should send it to Mr. May, formally letting him know.
Well, then, from your perspective, would you like a motion to, that the agreement be terminated subject to or conditional upon getting written confirmation from Mason Boots that that is the case? In other words, so we don't have to come,
And authorizing our legal counsel to.
yeah, so that we don't have to come back and approve it again after you get written confirmation.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, and we provided notification too that if there was not definitive action by February 1, that we would be meeting with you to make advisement that we would not be moving forward.
So, let me add that I talked to Jeff Abrams from Taft, who is their attorney, and he said the same thing. But in both cases, I don't think we're actually hearing from Mr. Mays.
That's because he's not
Right.
able to.
So I'm going to, so we ought to maybe assume that we're not going to get something from the company.
I think that
My
that's a safe
question was,
assumption.
I thought you said that his daughter held his power of attorney. Is that-
Yeah, and she's gone silent now as well.
So I think we need to act to terminate and maybe then send a letter to Mr. Mays notifying him that, and we could probably go through a couple reasons why the non-performance would be the primary one.
There's no penalties from us getting the terminating party.
Well, are you looking for a motion then?
I think we probably have Richard withdraw his initial motion.
Okay, I'll withdraw to enter it later.
All right, BJ.
Then I move that we terminate the agreement with Amazing Foods and authorize our attorney and the president to sign whatever documents are necessary to get that notice to the residents.
Second.
Motion by Dabney and a second by Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor of approval of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. And again, Leslie, thank you for your efforts. Hopefully we'll see you again. And we may have another deal. You never know when. These things occasionally, unfortunately, do happen from time to time. I'm sure he would rather be in a different place than he is right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Chris, thank you. I don't know if.
So I think maybe now we're back to Richard.
So we're back to Richard now.
Okay, I'll make the same motion that we allow Redevelopment to continue and complete the Shell 2 project as it was presented and introduced.
Okay.
Question, Richard, or to all of us, is there a period of time, with some input from Chris, that we want to firm up a period of time for him to reach out and see if anyone else is interested in building now before you start putting aside, so that we don't have to meet a month or 2 months from now to decide that issue?
Well, the thing is, I think it presents well to our community and the people that are interested. And he's got 30 days to get started in.
Safe to say you've already done that. I mean, and we've already reached out to other parties. I know many of you, I did send some emails.
We've reached out to a few that had expressed some interest previously. I think I'll provide us a written schedule to you to show where we are as far as the materials and when those would be in.
But as a citizen of our community, I know that a lot of people have driven by and commented on that project, wanting information. And if we get the siding up, it's going to look a whole lot different, like a real building. So my motion is to go ahead and start, hopefully have it completed by the end of June.
You're comfortable with that?
We would be comfortable with that.
Second?
Okay, a motion by Wertz and a second by Deputy. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you, Chris. Chris, I'm wondering now if we shouldn't go ahead and move ahead to resolution under O and P while we're on the Shell building. Maybe we should go ahead and jump ahead on that, since we do need to cover that. And, well, we've got Chris here.
Excuse me, Bob, should we go back to A to pay that interest?
That was one I was gonna cover with some of the others when we get ready to do that.
Oh, okay.
So, I understand. Actually, I think that we probably should just go ahead and do that, and, no, we haven't done that when we did the grants, but we didn't do that. We discussed it, let's go, I apologize for that. We're gonna go back to item A relating to Shelf Building 2 loan payments. We've already discussed it, and I'm gonna open this up for a public hearing at this time. BJ's budget, I think it would flow better to have all these public hearings at once. I think we'd just stay on the subject and we'll do it that way. Any discussion? I'll declare the public hearing closed and ask for a motion approving resolution 2019-05.
A motion to approve resolution 2019-05 for $73,696.
27 cents?
And 27 cents.
Second.
Motion by Wertz and a second by Paul Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that's approved and wrapped up. Now, Richard, thanks for bringing us back to that. So we'll move now to items O and P, and I'll let Krista discuss these.
The resolution 2019-18 is for the loan balance that we have in the escrow account related to the build out of the Shell building. So this was the $2.3 million original escrow account, and this is the remainder of what's left. This would complete the project. And so we're just requesting permission to update that with a 2019 resolution and able to disperse those funds as needed to run along for the completion of the project.
Could those be done together? O and P? Or should they be done separate?
I don't have a problem doing it together.
And one's
What we do together, we just need to make this,
On these
need
days.
to show up in that, it's a separate approvals.
all
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna just take them one at a time. We'll just do it that way. On this one, we need a motion to read this by title only.
Motion.
Yeah, one oh.
Motion to read resolution 2019-18 by title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Wertz and second by Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Well, now, open this up for a public hearing. Does not appear we're going to have any comment or questions, so I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion approving resolution 2019-18.
Motion to approve resolution 2019-18 for $511,799.60.
Second.
Okay, motion by Wertz, a second by Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Now we'll go to item P, 2019-19. This is $201,655 for land purchase. And I presume this relates to getting Fred finished up on his purchase.
It does. This is the last of the 3 years to pay for the land. I know this is different than the first shell building project that we did where we put this off until the purchase, but we had agreed to pay this amount once a year for 3 years, and this would be that last payment on the land.
To Fred Linville.
To Fred Linville, and this would be due June 1st.
Okay. So we're looking for a motion on this to read by title only.
Second.
Okay, motion by Deputy and a second by Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll open this up for a public hearing. We'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion approving resolution 2019-19.
Second.
Okay, you got that, Julie? And any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's approved. So we'll just keep on going here. I think we're gonna start getting into Mark Richards territory here. We're gonna go back to page 1, item D, 2019-08. This is $1.4 million, Hurricane and Arvin Road. I'm not sure we've had any formal discussion, but I know it's been brought up in meetings, and this is, I think each of you members have seen this, and we've had conversations about this for several months now, so.
The only thing I can add is we are holding a pre-bid meeting for that project today, about an hour and a half. We are opening bids on Friday.
So this project was brought to us in 2014, actually. We have a resolution that's been ongoing since 2014 to pay for the design of all of these intersections on the truck route bypass. And this is one of those intersections. We had, that original resolution was expended, it was $821,000 for the design of all 4 of those intersections. And so this project has been in discussion since 2014.
This is one that we originally, when we were talking about it several years ago, we were hopeful that we might receive some grant money or some other funding.
Yes.
As it turned out, we did not. So the Redevelopment Commission is writing a check on this one. It's a pretty good chunk, but it's an important piece in the getting the truck traffic and other vehicle traffic on the east side of town, northeast side accomplished. So.
That's correct, and this will be actually the 3rd roundabout on the truck bypass that will have been completed. There will be 2 remaining, one at Arvin and Commerce, and one at Commerce and Graham.
I know earlier we were, in prior years, we were hopeful that we could be more expeditious of getting these done, but when we found out there wasn't going to be any grant money, we kind of pushed these back a little bit so that we'll wait until there's funding available to do that. So, but this is a priority project for the city.
Yes, and I will say that the Arvin, the Commerce and Graham roundabout, we did apply for federal funds at the most recent call for projects, and we're not successful in getting funding for that. So it's basically, depending on which type of funding you try to secure, we don't have high enough accident rates, we don't have high enough congestion, and so therefore we've not been able to qualify.
Okay. I think on this, it'd be appropriate then to ask for a motion to read this by title only.
So
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's approved. We'll open it up for a public hearing. This is one also that's been well publicized. I know, Mary, you brought it up in your state address, state of the city address recently, and I think it's pretty well known by the public. Is this one that's going to be closed, that this intersection will be closed?
This will not be closed. This will be constructed under traffic act.
Okay. Did I open up for public hearing? Okay, I'll close the public hearing unless somebody has some question, including this group. Okay. And ask for a resolution, motion for approval of the resolution.
So
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second for approval of resolution 2019-08. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Item E is not for it's on the same project, but certainly a little bit lesser amount. You can explain that.
this is actually the next roundabout in the series, Arvin and Commerce.
Okay.
And the only thing that I'll say here is if this would be anticipated construction in 2020, if that does go according to schedule, then we will need to secure the right-of-way for this project this year. If that project gets delayed, then we could theoretically push that right-of-way acquisition back.
Okay, this 40,000 will be for what? What will it?
Right-of-way purchase.
Okay, right-of-way purchases.
So this may or may not be needed this year, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. If construction is delayed because of budget concerns, then we can actually push this one back.
Okay.
what we need then is a motion, I'm sorry, to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Actually, I think I've already got that motion. I've already got that title only, ignore that, I withdraw all that. I'll open this up for public hearing. Sorry about that. Okay, no discussion, questions? We'll close the public hearing, ask for a motion of approving the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right. And any further discussion? Those in favor of approval of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Recall, we got title only approval on all these through item H earlier in the meeting, so that's why I backed up on that. Resolution 2019-10, 61,000 for Westview Drive. We're gonna go to the other side of town. And,
This project is scheduled for letting in November of this year, which means that this amount would be for construction match. It would actually be paid probably at the very end of the calendar year in order to be able to award the contract early next year by NDOT. The amount is, I believe, is incorrect. It should be $84,000.
that's what the resolution says.
And this is one that could actually be tabled if you'd like to a later meeting. So this is not one that's imminent as far as,
This is on 44-144.
that's right.
So it's 84,000.
And I've been advised by legal counsel that we should go ahead and just table this. So I'll declare that we've tabled this one for the time being. We'll make you go through this again.
Okay.
Okay? Moving on to resolution 2019-11. Now we're into the urban trail portion of the meeting. And
This project is scheduled for letting in May of this year. Construction starting in July. This would be the construction local match for the project.
and where is this going to be?
This will be from near the fairgrounds where the original Jeff Street project started west of 31. And it will extend west to the where the new roundabout will be constructed.
At some point, there'll be road work and sidewalks and so forth.
This is a trail project only.
Okay.
There will be limited work in the on the street. It will be new traffic signals at Drake Road. We have applied for funding through NDOT for community crossings to repave that stretch of Jefferson Street. So that would be a separate project that's outside of this.
So we're not going to have all the upheaval on the west side of town, except for the roundabout.
That's correct. And the paving work that we would do would be simple mill and overlay, which will cause some problems for about a week. It would be very limited.
Okay, so we have a motion. Actually, I can open this up for public hearing at this time. Is there any comments or questions from the public? Being none, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Ask for a motion from the RDC body for approval of resolution 2019-10.
Motion to approve 2019-11.
Sorry, 11.
And this is for the construction match.
Okay. Second. Match from who?
From NDOT.
NDOT, okay.
It will be the match that we pay to NDOT.
Okay. And you've got all that, Julie? As far as
Yeah,
motions
it's
are-
on recording, yeah.
Any questions? Those in favor of approval of resolution 2019-11, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Now we'll move to resolution 2019-12. That's $160,000 for urban trail project.
That is for inspection. That is, the full amount will get reimbursed. I believe that's, is it 80%? So we'll have to pay that amount out, but the commission will be reimbursed for it.
Same project.
Same project, yes.
So that would be, that's shown on your cash flow analysis, the 80% reimbursement of $128,000.
It should be 128.
Well, we have to pay all of the 160 out, but we'll get 128 back.
Okay. I'll open this up for public hearing. All right, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of resolution 2019-12.
So moved. Second.
Beginning up first this time, and we're seconding it. Any discussion? Probably be Paul, jump in there. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Okay, I'm going to actually change the order again. I want to talk about, so we make sure we get this in. This is item number Y. This is the US 31 TIF district expansion. Mayor, we might need your help on this one. I'm going to look to Chris to explain the bulk of this.
Sure, this was discussed at your joint meeting on the 28th. We have, I'll put the map up here, an existing US 31 TIF district. There are two areas that TIF is collected in. That is the Kroger area and its surrounding parcels, and then the Meyer area and its surrounding parcels. This map is so big it won't fit on the screen all at one time, but the main change to this map that we're requesting is on the southern portion. The limits of this TIF district are the intersection of US 31 and Jefferson Street. And in order to include the new Youngs Creek redevelopment area, amphitheater area, we would need to expand this to include those parcels. So what we're proposing is that we start the process of expanding this district to allow those parcels to be included. And so that's the second map that's on your agenda. This is the proposed district, and you can see the change on the southern end. So this doesn't change anywhere that TIF is collected, it just changes where TIF can be spent and increases the area where TIF can be spent and on the southern edge. It's loading, give me a minute.
What this does, and correct me if I'm wrong, it allows us, when we do the bond on the US 31 TIF area for the design work on that project, it allows us to utilize the bond proceeds in order to get the work done in this area on the southwest side of the downtown.
That's correct, and we covered that in the joint meeting with the RDC and the city council. So it's nothing new. Chris basically gave a good reference to it.
This is the intersection here. You can see on the screen these four properties. This is Jefferson and US 31. And so these parcels were included, but then everything south of there, these are all additional parcels. These are just the parcels that touch 31 going south for that, the remainder of that gateway project. And then these are all of the parcels to the east that would be included in that redevelopment area. So this would allow us to spend proceeds from the US 31 TIF districts in this area. This area is also, would still remain in the integrated TIF district so it's covered by both. Would have two overlapping integrated TIF districts.
And we're still in the process with Crossroads and Shrewsbury to come up with a price of what it would cost that we're trying to get accomplished there. Buying the properties in this area, it's the amphitheater area, the Greenway Trails project that we talked about. But that's how I see it. We would have to be able to pay for it.
It'll all be brought back in here before this body, since we'll be the ones overseeing the.
It also has to go to the city council to get this approved, and there's a process with it.
And plan commission, so it's a couple month process, and then it would come back to the redevelopment commission for the final step.
So what we're needing to do, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, you see I don't know if there's a document attached to this, I haven't looked, I'm sure, not yet, but I think what this would do is authorize legal counsel, or just approve getting that done, and then what we would do is that we would take that at that point.
I'll tell it then. So if you want to green light that, and then we spend about 30 seconds on that.
Okay. You're recommending that this body approve this?
I'm recommending that we move forward.
How would you word that motion then? This, that we would authorize,
Me to pull this project together.
in order to expand the district to include those areas that were discussed on this, so does that make any sense? So we're looking for a motion then.
So you're looking for a motion to expand the TIF area,
Proposed,
the allocation area. So
Second.
Okay, a motion by Debbie and a second by Paul Buning. Any further discussion? Again, this will be back in here at some point, but this is just kind of an initial step that we need to take to kind of open that door in order to do that and help get that done. So, those in favor of approval of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved, so that's a big step, and we'll move along.
Okay, Bob, can we back up just a little bit also? I know that you had said earlier that you think that we'd be tabling item I, and I think this was a misprint, I think. I would ask, the only item that I had asked to be on the agenda this time, I didn't come up with all this big long agenda, was item A, or I, where it says $880,000 for the flood properties in the redevelopment area. Resolution 2019-13. I think that was actually supposed to be $200,000. And if you remember the last redevelopment commission meeting, I talked about the sale barn had decided that they were ready to sell. Maybe you see a for sale sign there. So I don't know if we can change that, or if we do need to table it and come back. Rob, the realtor, Fred Paris, is here.
It's on the agenda like that, but actually the resolution itself states that it is in the amount of, you've got it down here, $201,655. So I think
Okay. The actual resolution
it's correct.
is correct.
Yeah, it's related purchase, all I said related to Shell Building number 2 project.
We're getting ourselves off here. So on item I on the agenda,
Okay.
resolution 2019-13 is in the amount of $880,000.
Yes.
So you're saying that it doesn't need to be that high, it really needs to be 200 some odd.
Yes. Working with the people that own the sale barn, that is the price that we had got to. They was originally at $250, and we said no. And then about a month ago, they come back, and I think if I remember right, it was $175, and they absolutely said no, and we got to the $200,000 mark. And the sale barn is the last property there that I think we've all talked about trying to get. And what I see with the sale barn is not tearing that building down. I see the sale barn being used for our parks department and Discover Downtown Franklin to use as a storage unit. Of course, we would make it look nicer than it looks today and clean that area up as we try to do the rest of the project down there.
Who would own the building?
At this time, if the redevelopment commission approves it, they would own the building, and then we would probably.
We would do the rehab and then turn it over to the city.
Yeah, or maybe the city can work in a joint effort to do the rehab, because I don't see that being very expensive to do the rehab we need to do.
yeah. Rob, is this something that should be tabled, put on the next, advertised at 200,000?
No, you can go down, so you can keep, we could do this today if you wanted to, we could just lower the amount to whatever the amount is going to be. We just would not be able to go above it without the.
What would that amount be exactly?
200,000.
The price that I have offered pending approval from the RDC was $200,000.
So this is resolution 2019-13,
Yes.
and it does identify flood properties development area project, okay?
So does this need to be read by title only?
Yeah, we would need a motion by title only on this one.
should we do to amend the title? 200 days?
Yes.
Yeah.
read, I make a motion to read 2019-13 by title only, correcting the amount to $200,000 for the flood properties redevelopment area.
Okay, so you have a motion and a second to amend this to 200,000. Any questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Now, we need a motion to read by title only.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, approved. And I'll open this for a public hearing. This is a good purchase for the city, in my opinion. The reasons already been stated.
I'm waiting on your other people sign in today.
Now, please identify yourself.
Yes, sir. I'm Fred Paris, and I am the realtor for the owners of the Cell Barn. The Cell Barn's actually been here for a lot of years. A lot of great family have owned it. It's currently owned in a trust because the mother and father had passed away and their kids are still running it. Currently, only one of the children is really very involved in it, and he's got some health issues he's dealing with. So there is, this is a friendly sale. The mayor kind of want me to go on record that for the family has asked me to say for them that this is they want everybody in the community to know they're not being forced out. That as soon as they know, because part of the agreement was that you get possession of the building at closing if we finish an agreement. And they just wanted to, as soon as they're sure it's going to happen, they're going to quit taking consignments and start cleaning out the building because it's going to take them several weeks to finish it up. They did want us, let you guys know that they appreciate the mayor's working with them and coming to a solution, and that they've been proud to be part of Franklin and are very agreeable to what's happening in that area.
Where's my father-in-law going to hang out now? Once this is all done?
There's a lot of people going to find a new place to hang out. Morris Gent probably number one.
Yeah. Any other, thank you, Fred. Any other discussion on the public hearing? If not, I'll declare the public hearing closed and ask for a motion approving the amended resolution 2019-13.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved, so that's done. Thank you.
Okay, just one more thing to add. I don't know if Rob needs direction to go ahead and move forward with the closing, or if that's just automatically in this resolution taken that way.
No, I would probably have that also. So I would guess it would be a purchase agreement that looks a lot like Graham's with possession is closing.
You don't need to be authorized to sign. Okay, so looking for a motion for approval to sign all docs. Okay.
Second.
Motion by Deputy and second by Buning. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Are we done? We done there?
Now, one more, I think you had talked about tabling is item S. It's a resolution 2019-22, $600,000, the South Main Street parking lot project. And this is actually the phase 1 of the Greenways, Young's Creek Greenways Trail project of the parking lot.
Maybe if I could on that, would it be all right if I were to go ahead and, if I were to go back to, in the order we have, I could pick up items Q, R, and S and have that.
Okay, you'd stated earlier that
Right.
you may table that, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, now I'll untable it, and we'll go ahead and just go do the order. We'll do the South Main Street construction inspection, and then we'll do the parking lot project.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mark, I think you're up, and then, is that the next one?
I'm not sure I'm following.
Yeah, we would be looking at QR. And honestly, folks, we get done here with some of these in a few minutes. I'm not opposed to going back on some of these that have been tabled and having some discussion. What I just don't want to do is just have, it's always been kind of our practice not to approve it on first look, but again, as Chris just pointed out to me, we've had discussion on these things off and on, but just not formally as we tend to. So we'll do Q, R, and S, and probably even keep moving on down to T, you and, you know, just finish this on out, and then we'll come back and we'll revisit the, any, I think, some of them other items. So I'm gonna untable item number B as well, not a number, but a letter. So, anyway, clear as mud, as usual. So, start with Q.
Okay, item Q is South Main Street construction of Main Street from the new bridge all the way to US 31. It includes either sidewalk or trail on each side of the road. This project is scheduled to go to letting in November of this year. We're nearly complete with right-of-way acquisition, and the amount's correct, so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And this is one that's been on the books for some time, just waiting its turn, hasn't it?
That's correct.
And this is kind of the last of the gateway projects, assuming we get all the stuff on the east side done this year.
Yes.
Okay. Krista, you've had this budgeted and, for some time.
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask that we have a motion to read by title only.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Question, this is acquisition all the way down to 31
This is for construction.
for construction.
Yeah, we're already in the acquisition phase and have nearly completed that.
I represent one of the owners down there in Woodford State.
Okay. All right.
But again, this is just for construction of the project.
I understand.
Okay.
I'll still abstain.
All right. So, this is, again, read by the title only. So, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And so, open it up for public hearing. Okay, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of resolution 2019-20.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
I've got one abstention as we did on the prior one as well. Motion approved. Okay, 2019, I'm sorry, R, resolution 2019-21.
This is for the same project as resolution 2019-20. This is for the construction inspection.
And again, this is one that we've had budgeted for some time, correct, Krista?
Yes.
Seen numbers on this, and it'll be good to get a lot of stuff off the sheet. You know, once it gets done, we can take it off the sheet, and maybe it'll be less confused by all this.
This one is an 8% reimbursement, correct, Mark?
That's correct.
So we pay out the $390, we get 8% back, $312,000.
Okay, at some point then.
Yeah.
And
This is
the bulk
inspection.
of the expenses here will be in 2020.
Okay. All right, need a motion to approve by title, read by title only.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Abstaining again.
Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And one abstention. Approved. Open this up for public hearing. Okay, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of resolution 2019-21.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
Abstention. Resolution approved. Now we'll move to item number S, which is resolution 2019-22, $600,000 for the South Main Street parking lot CMRE project.
This project is for construction of the parking lot at the northwest corner of Youngs Creek and South Main Street. It'll be part of the Youngs Creek Greenways Trail project. It is scheduled for bidding on March 11th. So this project will start construction yet this spring.
Chris is trying to bring us up a visual on this, kind of show the area that it's going to be done. And this is where the old gas station was, at least part of that, isn't it? And the M-Shot property?
Yes, That's correct.
Yeah, so we originally had one design contract for the old wake up station property, but then once we acquired Hendershot, we had a supplemental to increase the size of that, so now it includes both of those parcels.
All right. I don't know if we need to, I think everybody knows where this is at, don't they? We've seen the, now, are you all comfortable with what you've seen thus far on this and what we've talked about? And again, this is just part of the bigger project there. This won't be, obviously, won't be paid out of any bond proceeds, it'll just be paid out of TIF funds.
Just under 100.
There will be just under 100 parking spots at this location.
This is the Waco property.
Yes.
Yes.
And the adjoining Hendershot, yeah, takes us there to South Jackson Street, I believe. And what, you're responsible for while you're there? Those two parcels right there.
Yeah.
So it's much bigger than what we originally thought it would be.
Yeah, originally it was just this one,
Okay,
but now it includes that.
all right. That's gonna be done with lighting and so forth, it'll be done right, you know.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
There will also be a bicycle, bike rack plus kind of a fixed station for bicycles at that location.
Kind of a place for unloading bikes and so forth, yeah, okay. All right, looking for.
Does that sound right, just 100 parking spots there? When you drive down there, it looks a lot bigger than that when you look over.
You have setbacks from property lines and so forth, plus you have landscaping islands with trees and lighting, that sort of thing.
It also has, you know, we keep talking about the trails going along the creek for the rest of the project. It's also got the trails back by the creek that starts the first phase. Kind of show how it's, once we get the other properties cleared off, how the trail's going to carry on through there. Like I said, it's the first phase of the Young's Creek Greenways Trails project.
Looking for a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good to have you back, BJ.
Thank you.
We'll open it up for a public hearing. And we'll close the public hearing and ask for a resolution, motion approving the resolution.
Second?
Okay, motion and second been made. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is approved. So we'll move down to item number T, letter T, Resolution 2019-23. Now we're back on the east side or northeast side of town. The Arvin Hurricane Eastview Roundabout Project, Resolution 2019-23.
This is a project that will bid on Friday. This resolution is to fund inspection for the project. The Board of Works did approve the contract subject to funding by the Redevelopment Commission at its last meeting. So once we have the funding available, then we'll be able to have Crossroads begin their inspection tasks.
So the inspection portion of that.
Yes.
Looking for a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, and I'll open this for public hearing. Somebody needs to let Mr. Akers know what he missed out on today. There probably won't be anything else to talk about the rest of the year, so there's no point in me even coming. I'm just not being critical, I'm just missing out on all the fun today. I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of Resolution 2019-23.
So moved.
Okay, and we have a motion by Union and a second by Deputy. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Looks like we're going to lose BJ again. Next one is Resolution 2019-24. This is the 169 for the project right-of-way on South Main Street. Steve. Okay.
This is a project that we actually started the right-of-way acquisition last year. We're nearly complete. I think we have, what, 4 or 5 parcels remaining. This amount does include right-of-way engineering costs and acquisition costs.